Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your weekly reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you're watching this reading was meant to find you. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Gemini, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. 3 of Cups, abundance, satisfaction, joy. You're somebody that knows how to have a good time. All right. I think you're probably known as the fun one in the family, right? I think that you like to connect with people. You like to have a good time. You like to create joyful moments. You know, this card is about understanding the process of creation on the emotional plane. You know how to make people feel good. You know what feels good for you. I think when people need cheering up, they go to you. You know, just being around you, I think, really has an effect on people. Yeah. It may be that you're in the process of trying to create one of these celebrations, you know, right now. And maybe you're in the process of creating something that is going to be a peak experience, something that is going to just kind of make everything okay, you know. Let's put this card into a little bit of context and see where this energy is really going to be helping you in the next few days. We've got a Prince of Pentacles. It's a Taurus kind of energy. It's a commitment. It is a steadfastness. Okay. Here we have a 5 of Wands, an 8 of Swords, a 2 of Wands, and 9 of Pentacles. Yep. The payday is very, very close. Big payday. This is wild. This is really, you are indeed creating something. You're in the middle of working on something for its own sake, for the joy involved in doing it. Because it is an expression of your essence, right? Mercury in Cancer here. You're expressing yourself through your work. It just so happens you're going to get a very big payday because of that. But that's not why you're doing it. You're doing something here for the sake of the enjoyment, for the love, for the feeling, right? And the earth energy in the future position here, well, that just seems like a very, very nice benefit, right? Gemini, if there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Let's finish up with the path of the serpent here. We've got the 7 of Pentacles, a 4 of Swords, a Knight of Wands, and a Princess of Pentacles. I very much like the Pentacles energy. And I wonder now if maybe this was something that you were trying to, at first, you were trying to really bring out the potential of something, right? The Princess of Pentacles there is kind of, it could be an Empress, right? It might be. It just needs the focus, needs the attention, needs the investment. If we invest in this, maybe it will become the Empress, right? That's kind of the way we approach life. We say, well, if I do this thing, maybe it has the potential to really be successful, whatever that means, whatever success means to us, right? We're looking at a piece of property. We say, well, maybe this could be a really nice house or a nice building or a barn or something. We're looking to buy a business or something. Well, maybe this could really be successful. Maybe it's just an idea. We're sort of looking at an idea. Maybe this can be a really successful idea. And that's sort of what the Empress is. It's a potential Empress. Okay? And of course, with our 7 of Pentacles that we have down here, I wonder if maybe you began doing something thinking, yeah, this could be great. This could really be successful. And we're looking sort of at the long term and thinking, maybe I can bring out the Empress of this thing. You know, maybe this is just a kind of an old pile of wood, maybe I can fix it up and really make it something nice, you know? Maybe this is an old junky car. Well, I could soup it up. I could restore it to its original beauty. Maybe, you know? There's the potential there. This is something into which we are considering investing time, energy, effort, and money because we think it could maybe be an empress. Okay. But the actual reality of it is that things have been sort of going rather slowly. Things have been not happening as fast. We're starting to maybe even worry a little bit. I don't think we're quite there yet with the worry because the progress has not been happening as fast as you wish that it would have. We're not seeing the growth. We're not seeing, like I keep working on this thing, but I'm not really seeing the empress underneath everything, you know? I'm working on this car, but it's just, I don't know if this is going to really be anything. Or if it's, you know, we're investing in a garden. We're thinking, I don't know if these plants are going to grow, right? They just haven't grown yet. And we're not giving up. But I think it's in this state of kind of like, okay, maybe the end result is not going to happen. Okay? And if we're aware of that the end goal is not guaranteed, okay, the future is still a kind of dark and unknown reality. It hasn't happened yet, right? If we acknowledge that, then perhaps we're able to find a little bit more joy and satisfaction in the work itself, not being so attached to what it could potentially be at the end. What the potential benefits or consequences are. We're living in the moment. Living in the moment. Let's select a mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. We'll set it down right here with Big Red Ant. And now we're not going to look at that card until the very end. All right? But it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need. If you have a prediction, you can put it in the comments down below. Let's do it together anyway, right? Let's use our intuition. Speaking of intuition, let's look around the room. We don't see any major arcana energies. Why? Is it that spirit has abandoned the place? The spirit has left the building? No. No, spirit is the building. But I think spirit is just sort of absorbed into the table right now. In other words, the energies are still here, but there's really nothing that spirit has pulled out of the pack to show you that you need to work on. It's really just about you kind of doing what you're doing, and spirit's kind of telling you that it's okay for you to trust yourself. It's okay for you to believe what you're doing and to keep doing it. And so I wonder if there's this switch now in you where we were doing something for the result. I'm investing in this because I want the return on the investment. I want the Empress energy at the end. That's why I'm doing this. I think we've shifted from that over, on the other hand, to saying, I'm doing what I'm doing because I love it, because I enjoy it, because it's bringing me together with people, it's creating connections, it's satisfying me in the moment to be around these people and to be sort of having fun. And the end result, who cares? It's the moment that we're enjoying. Because again, that Three of Cups, people like to be around you. People like to, they sort of feel good being around you. And I think this is the most important thing for you, is the connections that you're making while you're doing this. Maybe it'll be an Empress energy. Maybe it's going to fail. Maybe not. Whatever. Who cares? Well, we care. But that's not what we're obsessed with. That's not the why. That's the what. I'm investing my money in this. I'm investing my time and energy in this. And this is where I'm working today. But that's not really all that significant. What is significant is the way you're able to connect with people. And this is right at the center of everything. If you're not enjoying what you're doing, if you don't feel an abundance, if you don't feel a satisfaction in the moment, it doesn't matter what the rewards are going to be. You probably won't get the rewards that you're looking for anyway. So we're kind of looking at the same thing, but from two different ends. We're looking at it as saying, okay, the ends justifies the means. Or the means sort of guarantees the ends. Okay? So I think that if you're enjoying what you're doing right now, the outcome is going to be fine. It's going to be a full empress, half an empress, or beyond. It doesn't matter. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be what it is. If you're doing everything in this moment and you're enjoying what you're doing now and you're going into it with the right attitude, I feel like you're sort of guaranteeing the success. You know? If we're going into something and we don't like it, we're thinking, I'm just suffering here because I want to get that Empress energy at the end, I'm just going to suffer here and do this crap, then the end result is kind of maybe, maybe not. If we go into it and we're in the moment, we love the actual work itself, we love the process, we're enjoying the journey, the end result, I think, is going to take care of itself, right? We're creating the future we want by living in the moment and making the right decisions and having the right attitude and the right relationships and the right perspective now. We don't have to worry about the future, okay? The future is going to take care of itself if you take care of the moment. Yeah. So we don't see any major arcana energy. There are no spiritual lessons for you to learn. I think Spirit's kind of saying, just keep doing what you're doing. You know, it's like Spirit's kind of pushed you out of the nest and you're just flying on your own. And that's good. There's nothing to worry about there, right? We've got fire, fire, fire. We've got a little bit of water right in the middle. And I think that's the water of the moment. That is the potential that this situation has really to bring people together, for you to enjoy the moment. My hair is falling out all over our table here. The water is really the moment-to-moment sort of creation of the joy, the abundance, the relationships, right? And the way that you're working hard here, not for the future. You're working hard in the moment for the moment. Okay? You're finding purpose and you're finding abundance and you're finding satisfaction in the moment-to-moment work and not waiting for something that may or may not happen later. The fire energy is very important here because, I think that you are a very ambitious person. You really want things to succeed. You've got a will, you've got strength, you've got an ability to bring the fire, But I think you're trying to have more control over that, and you're trying to sort of balance it out between, do I really need to push and be like this? We think of like a boss who's just like very strict and just a very hardcore kind of manager or boss, versus one that's kind of like, hey, we're all going to do this together. It's going to be a fun day. We're going to have a good time, And it's sort of like you understand that building up the morale makes people more successful anyway. That if we focus on making this moment a beautiful moment, then the results that we're looking for will be there. And so with that Two of Wands, I feel like we're trying to control our ambition a little bit. We're trying to work. Yes, we're working very hard. But we're working in the right way, So anyway, we got a lot of the fire. We've got a little bit of water. We've got a decent amount of air, a couple of air cards here. But then we really have got earth, 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 and earth. Okay? And the earth cards, I think, are really extraordinary. And they're saying, the earth card, especially the Nine of Pentacles, is saying that, look, this big payday that you're after is very, very close. You're not worried about it, nor should you worry about it, because you're living in the moment, right? The princes of the tarot are the cards focused on what is going on right now. And right now you're working hard. Yes, you have a lot of ambition. You've got a lot of problems to solve. You're trying to be fair. You're trying to relate to people, but you're trying to really create a joy and a happiness in life rather than we're just in it for the money. There's more important things to you. The money's going to be there, but that's what I'm saying. If you're focused on the right things right now in the moment, if you're enjoying what you're doing, if you're being authentic and you're expressing yourself and you're connecting with the people around you, the money will be there. The success, the recognition, the whatever it is, that will be there. Okay? The Five of Wands underneath everything. This is a card of fighting. This is the card of friction, of contention, right? This is, I think, a part of you that does want to control everything. There's a part of all of us that really wants to control everything, wants to be the boss, controlling everybody else, and sort of giving everybody else a job, being the taskmaster, and making sure everybody does what they're supposed to do, ruling with an iron fist, This is under the surface in you. This is something I think that you're trying to quiet it down and replace it with that Three of Cups. So I think that you are a person who can be really tough. I think you can be really super strict. I think we're trying to flip the script a little bit, and like I said at the beginning, you're the one that everybody wants to be around. You're the one that everybody thinks is kind of like the fun person in the group, And I think that, with all of that kind of fun energy and being the sort of, being the comic relief probably, you're probably the one with the sense of humor, you also have this very ambitious side of you. And I think there's a balance that's being struck between that. So that you're able to be very ambitious, but you're also able to still be the fun one, And I think that's a very fine line. And we can look at that in terms of business or finances, or even like in terms of being part of a family, raising kids, being a boss or a leader of any kind. So as much as we're trying to sort of push down the fight and be the fun one, we're trying to remember that, we still need this. We still need the fight. We can be the one who fights and the one who has the fun, right? And in a way, this is sort of motivating us. If we're having a very refreshing and pleasurable and abundant experience doing the work, we're more likely to work harder and faster. Morale is really sometimes it's a very overlooked component of life, that if we're just, if the spirit has gone from the work, we're gonna have less interest in actually achieving anything and doing anything worthwhile, right? The Eight of Swords in the background here, this is a bit of sort of overthinking. I think a lot of your life has been spent overthinking. This is a Jupiter in Gemini card. It's kind of right up your alley. And Jupiter being that expansion, it's kind of like where the plan is growing. Our web of thoughts is growing bigger and bigger and bigger. It's expanding with that Jupiter energy. And so we're getting more complex. Life has gotten way too complex. I think that's sort of been a switch for you too. We have kind of a return to simplicity, where we don't need this big complex plan. We don't have to have this intricate map for the future. It's just like, I'm going to live in the moment. And yes, I have goals. I'm ambitious. I want long-term things. I want success. I want to live a successful life, right? But I'm not obsessed with that, and I don't have to meticulously calculate and plan everything. Because when we're doing that, we're not actually living. We're sort of planning to live, right? But we're not actually doing any of the living, right? And so there is this return to simplicity where it's just kind of like, I'm trying to get out of my overthinking mind and just start creating joy. We think of the builder building joy, building these peak experiences. I think that whatever work you're doing and however you're doing it, you're really producing a lot of smiles, like you're making people really feel good. And I think it's making you feel good. Maybe, maybe that's part of your profession or something like that, right? But the idea is that we're getting out of the complexity. We're returning to the simplicity, right? Even of a 4, from an 8 to a 4. We got a 2, a 3, and even the 5 is kind of like right in the middle, So there is, we're reducing the complexity of our lives, of our mental space even, so that we can actually build something that we're enjoying the process of building. We enjoy going to work every day here. It's a simpler way of experiencing the world, and it's a simpler way of having relationships where we don't need this complex web, all this mystery and intrigue and all this kind of stuff. It's just very simple, but more pure relationships. Yeah. The 2 of Wands at the top here is our ability to control ourselves. It's our ability to have fun and still get work done, And some people don't have that ability to control themselves. Some people, it's like, okay, as soon as we start playing games and having a good time, then we just go hardcore with that and we forget all about work, right? And so it's kind of like a kid. A kid's doing homework, and then as soon as you start to play a little game or something or do something fun, they forget all about the homework and they just want to go and play and have fun, and it's really hard to get back to actually doing the homework. But you're able to find a sort of balance between that, where you can work very, very hard, right? And you also have an ability to enjoy the work that you're doing. For some reason, I feel like whatever you're doing, you can make it fun, right? And it takes a lot of self-control, and I think that's what you've been working on a lot in your life, is trying to take charge of your life and saying, yes, I care about the outcomes, but I care about the moment too. And how do I do both? How do I make sure that I'm enjoying what I do, even when it's challenging, even when there are obstacles? Remember, your general energy is one where I'm not seeing the progress. This should make us very sad, right? But it's not. You're still finding joy in this work, and you kind of say, well, you know what? We'll figure it out. We'll get there. It'll be all right, Let's just maintain this good attitude. Let's control our temper. Let's control our this vital, fiery Mars and Aries energy that just sees this obstacle and it just wants to rage and go berserk and just smash it down. It's kind of saying, look, we don't need that, We can have a good time. We don't have to stop the party, right? We can keep things going. And we can have a cheerfulness and an optimism that says, we'll solve the problem. We'll figure it out. It's not the end of the world. We'll make it. We'll do it. One way or the other, eventually, we're going to get past this obstacle. And if we can't solve the problem, we'll have to go around it, and that's okay, I think the one thing that really causes a standstill, a screeching, grinding halt to life, is when we experience something less than ideal, a setback, a loss, a problem, a difficulty, a speed bump. The worst thing we can do is get really, really angry and worked up over it, right? And that maybe is our Five of Wands, or the Two of Wands, trying to control that aspect, right? So I think maybe you even have a tendency to have a little bit of a temper. But we've worked on that, and we realize that nothing that happens in life is really worth me getting that enraged over. Because when you're in that rage kind of energy, you can't solve problems, you can't react, you can't function, and you can't tackle the problem in the right way. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't have a sense of urgency. Something happens, you got to react quick. You've got to you got to get pissed off, right? You've got to get sort of enraged a little bit. But if we're out of control, if we react to something in a way that is disproportionate to what happens, we're not thinking straight. We're not functioning that well, right? And we're not going to make anything happen. We're going to make it worse. So you have the fiery energy, but you know how to use it when you need to, and use it in the right way, where it's kind of like you don't disturb the underlying vibe, And I like that. And I think that it's really helping you to get the success not only of this moment, but the long-term success too. I think that big payday is very, very close. And really, you can attribute it to your good attitude, right? Like I said, I think you're the one that everybody wants to be around, that everybody wants to work for. We wish you were our boss, that you're the one with the fun ideas, you're the one with the comic relief, you're the one that can cheer people up, And it's kind of like your ability to cheer people up is kind of like, hey, let's have a quick conversation. Let's both get in a good mood so we get back to work. There's a functional sort of purpose to things like that too. It's, again, I don't know why, but everything comes back to my daughter. She's 4 years old. If she is upset about something, right, we let her feel how she feels and stuff, but then we try to talk to her. We try to we try to put her in a better mood. We try to help her to manage those feelings and to get back into a cheerful state. And then we can get back to doing the homework or whatever it is that we were doing, right? Because, maybe left on our own, we will wallow in our feelings like that sometimes. And sometimes it does take a little bit of an effort from somebody who kind of knows what they're doing, right? You don't just want somebody coming by and saying, hey, snap out of it, be happy. That doesn't work. But somebody who really has a genuine energy, as I see you have, that can sort of help people to filter out some of that negative emotion and get back to a good state of being and get back to the work at hand. So I think that you would be a very good boss or manager in that way, or I don't know, any kind of a person that's a good skill to have, right? And I think that could be applied to a lot of things. I think you are, or you would be a very good parent, a boss, a manager, a counselor, a therapist, someone that does like kind of crisis intervention with people. I think you'd be very good at those sorts of jobs, I think whatever you're doing now, maybe it is something like that, it's really going to start paying off. I think your Empress energy is emerging, and I wonder if we're going to get some of that in our mystery card. But like the Seven of Pentacles is showing, for the time being, it doesn't look like anything was really happening, but that's okay. You're saying, we're just going to continue doing what we're doing. And we're going to adapt, and we're going to shift if we have to. We're open to new ideas. And things will be okay, right? We're not really super worried about this. The Four of Swords in the environment, I think is really, this feels really like Big Lebowski to me. Feels really like The Dude Abides, because I feel like we're trying not to really stress out about everything. And again, that doesn't mean that we don't have a sense of urgency and we don't have a response. I think you're quick to respond to things, but you don't have this frantic, stressful, worried, energy about you. I feel like you're very easy to talk to. I feel like somebody can tell you really, really bad news, and you'll take it in a very kind of mature way, healthy way. I think that people in your life are very honest with you. If somebody, like if your kid does something terrible, right? They know that they can come to you and tell you, and that you're not going to fly off the handle and just run around screaming and tearing your hair out. That you can, and you'll be very strict, very stern, and you'll do the right thing, whatever that means, but you're not going to freak out, because there's something in you that you've gotten a handle on that allows you to sort of stay cool, calm, and collected for the most part. If something is very urgent, like the building's on fire, like you're going to have that kind of reaction. You're going to have a very healthy reaction to things, but you're not stressing out about all those things, right? So mentally, there's a calm. Even if energetically, sometimes we've got to really step on the gas and we've got to do these urgent things and we got to be quick about it. But mentally, there's a calmness to you. There's no stress there. And I think people really value that, and people think that they can tell you things. I think people are very open with you. People share things with you because you don't react in that sort of in that over-the-top way, and you don't judge either, right? Because the last thing that you want here is the Knight of Wands in the position of kind of the obstacle, or really that's the energy that you don't want. This is, in this case, kind of an impulsive action. This is a reaction. Okay, so this is kind of the energy that we're trying to control, which is when something happens, this energy just gets up and starts running around like crazy, right? And somebody tells you some bad news, and you just start freaking out. And this is what we're trying to get a handle on. So this is what we don't want. This is very impulsive. This kind of this is a reaction where it's like the horse gets spooked, and the horse just bolts. And you're on top of the horse, and you're just like, I don't know what to do, right? We don't want that kind of a reaction from ourselves. So it's almost a stoicism, right? It's the feeling really that there's nothing in life that you can't handle. You'll handle everything in a way that is appropriate to the thing. Yeah. Rather than just letting that sort of emotion or instinct just whisk you away and out of control, right? This is that out of control energy. And I think all of these factors are really contributing to your success. I think that this Princess of Pentacles is going to grow and bloom into an Empress. The cold winter landscape is going to give way to the springtime, and I think all the abundance is going to be growing and flourishing, right? Whatever this investment thing is for you, an investment, again, of time, effort, energy, and or money, is going to really pay off. How about that mystery card? Maybe it will be the Empress. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's take a look. I don't know, Empress or maybe Emperor, you know. Let's see. A 10 of Cups. Well, that's okay too. The 10 of Cups is very, very good because I think that this is a continuation of this good water energy all the way till the end. Whatever the outcome is, you're going to be happy, you're going to be satisfied, you're going to be overjoyed. I think because all along the way, 3 of Cups, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of Cups, you're going to go through all the water energy. Every step of the way, you're going to have the right attitude and the right perspective. And whatever the outcome is, it's going to be intensely rewarding and intensely satisfying. Okay? We think the big payday then is going to be let's say, the financial success of what you're doing. Yes, and it's also going to be this overwhelming joy and satisfaction and fulfillment, which 10 is greater than 9. That means more to you. The financial stuff, yeah, we want this to be, and that's kind of what the Empress is. The Empress is the physical success, the financial success, but also the kind of the depth of meaning and purpose, feeling like it's a success, you know? And I think you got both of these cards, which to me, this might as well be an Empress card, you know? I love it. I think this is perfect. We're going to do an extended reading as well. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Gemini Mondays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.